questions too. Welcome to Behind the Mind Radio Show. We are live on We Act Radio YouTube. This is wonderful. Now, I've been trying to get this dude in this chair for at least like since December of 2016. So when he said that, I can do it, I said, we're going to put him on the radio side. We're going to get him on the TV side. We're going to do everything in one sweep. So we have moved from the radio side over to the TV side here in our podcast studio. If you all haven't seen it, it's absolutely amazing. And get a chance for him to do what he does best while we continue to talk over food and some politics as well. Hey, Chef Rock.
Good to be here. Good to be back. It's hard for me to sit down, so I'm sorry. But always a pleasure. It's tough for me to sit in this chair right now, especially when we're about to cook. But good to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, well, I guess let's tell people first what we have.
The old tequila. And then what goes best with that is some good old guacamole. And I am I'm talking about drinking. I love eating healthy, and I love showing different ways where we can have little tidbits of even enjoying ourselves or indulging. We can have a little tidbits of health. So guacamole is a great way to keep us on that healthy track.
And I love guacamole. Big eater of guacamole. How much prep time can you go from guacamole, those avocados there, to actually having it in front of you?
Oh, I mean, guac is the easiest thing.
Is it?
So maybe, we're going to do it in less than how much ever time for this show. But 5 minutes for me,
Okay.
maybe 10 minutes for, someone that, it's not much chopping. It's just, it's very, very simple.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
It's not like where you have to cut tomatoes or anything like that.
Okay.
You just, we'll show you.
Okay.
Very easy.
So before you get started, and we'll talk while you make it, tell people what you're doing now, the name of the new business, and the efforts that you have for those who are, tuning in now on the YouTube Live.
RockSolid Creative Food Group, and we are a business, food, inspiration, and change. So primary focus right now, I still love to cook. I'm doing a lot of cooking. Still love to serve my community. I'm working at Central Union Mission as a chef there, helping getting that, serving those men some great meals. But my primary focus on the RockSolid side is my media. So the goal, I'm gonna change the goal after today. The motto up in the office is, be like Karen Baker. Right? We're gonna put behind the mind up on the wall, on the whiteboard. That's gonna be the whiteboard session. How can we get there? I mean, this is great. This is great what you all got going on. I'm very inspired.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
podcast, show, and that's really, I love entertainment. That's why I always got into food. I love entertaining people.
And they
through
intertwine,
food.
so they mix up a lot. Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell people a little bit about your background too, because you've come from really restaurants that people will be very familiar with, and then the show as well too.
Yeah, my biggest chunk of my career was B. Smith's in Union Station. I worked for the fantastic, wonderful, just lovely B. Smith. For many years, she gave me an amazing opportunity there. And after that, in the middle of that, I got a little bored. It was a great opportunity. And I said, I want to do something crazy. So I applied for Hell's Kitchen. And that's obviously where a lot of people know me from.
Right.
Third season, 10 years ago.
Wow, it's 10 years this year?
10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's my my podcast is Chef Rock Experiment. I can spell. That's the X is the 10-year mark.
Okay.
And it's just all about the stuff I've done and what I'm doing. So Hell's Kitchen, worked for Ben's Next Door, did some volunteer national work for the March of Dimes. For DC Central Kitchen, I worked there, nonprofit here. Opened up a restaurant out in Arlington, sausage joint. So just done quite a lot. Yeah. And hoping to do a lot more.
Right. Really cool. So, I mean, even with Hell's Kitchen, he won Hell's Kitchen. He talking about just Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
He won Hell's Kitchen. And then you went out to Las Vegas.
I did go out to Vegas, the Green Valley Ranch. Resort and Spa. It was a restaurant, Terra Verde, Italian restaurant. Okay. It was a great experience. Nothing like Vegas. Ever.
Yeah.
So spent the year out there, and then it was just a phenomenal time.
Right.
I never forget that. And then I came back to Ben's Next Door with the Ali family. And opened up that restaurant. Did some teaching as well at Stratford University. So.
Because I didn't know that you were part of the opening of Ben's Next Door. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Right in the middle of inauguration. It was like. It was like it was a you know how it was down there.
Yeah.
So we slept in the restaurant a night or two because on the inauguration night because it was just going to be so busy. We wouldn't have a way to get into the city. So I opened that up with a few great chef friends of mine, and that was one of the highlights of my career.
Yeah.
That was a great time.
All right. Good for you.
Thank
Good for you.
Yeah.
So you want to start, and we'll talk while you do?
Yes, I tell you what. Let me get started on. I'm gonna do the cocktail first.
Okay.
So as I talk and make the guacamole, and can you cook? Can you?
Yeah, I like to cook.
You like to cook, so you don't mind if I get you to help me with something?
No, not at all.
All right, okay.
Not at all.
This is new for me, sitting down. I was telling you earlier, this is like Paul Prudhomme, which is a famous chef out of. He was a famous chef out of New Orleans.
Okay.
He used to have a stool in the kitchen on TV.
Oh.
And so I'm gonna get my Paul Prudhomme on
Okay.
right
All
now.
right. Okay. We don't want to restrict you. So
No, I'm
you gotta
good.
go
All
ahead.
right. So
All right.
we're gonna take some ice. Let's see. I love the background here. I love this studio. We can make this a weekly thing if you ever,
And people love food, so it's not like, and the Food Network does so well. Who knows?
Right,
You know? So,
right.
hey, definitely.
And then we're gonna take about 1.5 ounces, maybe 2 ounces of tequila. And this is what we call it. You can fill that up.
Okay,
Please.
all
we
right.
call a reposado. And a reposado is you can get a little more. It's Friday.
Oh, okay.
It's
all right.
Friday. Yeah. Put that right in there. Boom.
Okay. 2 of them or just one?
Oh, one. Just
Okay,
one.
all right.
I mean, 2 of them if you're feeling.
No, we better.
I think we might both have to go back to work. Yes. I'm gonna squeeze some grapefruit juice.
Okay.
Fresh grapefruit is always gonna be best.
Okay.
Right? Fresh anything is always gonna be best.
Okay.
However, if you can't get it, there are many ways. We have a grapefruit sort of sparkling water that we're gonna finish it off with.
Okay.
But just to get that nice fresh fruit is always gonna be best.
Okay.
Fresh squeeze. All right, so I'm gonna put that in there.
So even in regards to talking about, fresh anything,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying, and really encouraging people to do that, because how is it in the flavor? When you actually use someone fresh versus turn around and buying, some grapefruit juice out in the jar.
Well, it's gonna taste better. I mean, we've become such an automated country to where we don't even know what a real strawberry or a real grapefruit or a fresh orange tastes like. That's grown out of our backyards.
Wow.
And what's funny is that we're coming back to this local era and this fresh era, but it's always been like that.
Okay.
Our ancestors told us to do it a long time ago.
Right. Very
So
true.
it just tastes better.
Yeah.
There's not a
yeah.
lot of preservatives. To get a grapefruit juice from, I don't know, Mexico or Chile to Washington, D.C., it needs to be preserved. Nothing wrong with those guys preserving it.
Right.
But they have to put certain things in it or heat it maybe.
Okay.
So this is not heated.
Okay.
So it's going to taste better. So pour that right in there.
Pour it into this thing here.
Yes.
Okay.
And then what we're going to do is I want you to give me a little bit of, this is agave.
Okay.
So agave is a sweetener.
Okay.
It's a good sweetener.
Mm-hmm. And pour some of this in here.
Pour that in there. That's good.
That's good? Okay.
It's very sweet, so we don't need a lot.
Okay.
And then we're going to put a little more ice in there. I put lime wedge around the rim, a little salt.
Okay.
All right, so it's just like similar to a margarita.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that's heavily iced. And what I want you to do, and these are one of those drinks where, it has a nice little bit of acidity in it.
Okay.
And I like balance. I don't like sweet drinks at all.
Okay.
I mean, I could drink the tequila just by itself. But what we want to do when we're making a cocktail is make sure, I'm not an expert, but make sure anything that we make has balance. We don't want too much sugar. We don't want it too...
And too much alcohol.
Too much
I don't
alcohol.
like a drink that's just, especially a cocktail.
Right.
That's so heavy where you're like, oh, this don't become a cocktail anymore. It's like having it neat.
Right, absolutely. So you want that balance, unless you want it really boozy.
Right, exactly.
You want that balance, and then because you want to be able to have more than one.
Right,
Right?
right.
So if I'm sipping this, if it's a party, we're sitting outside on a patio, I want to be able to have 3 and still be able to say goodbye to everybody in the party, Where is Rock? He sleep on the couch. So we want to make sure. Now, I did my show Shift Drink a couple weeks ago, and my friends Aleka and Stephanie and Kima, shout out to you. Hopefully you're watching. They sort of laughed at my shaking ability, so I've been practicing. So I think there you go. I think that's it. More rigorous. How's that? That look like a pro?
It did.
Yeah. All right. So what we do is nice and shake, and the shaky helps get that Hopefully the production guy is not like, what in the heck is he doing? He's killing my set. Sorry, Red. So we want to strain that out.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's simple. Leave a little bit of room up top.
So a question to go back though, what is the reason behind a lot of ice? Because you said a lot of ice. Is it just to chill it or does it also add to the balance?
I like ice for a couple of reasons. Now, mind you, I'm not a cocktail expert like my brother Derek Brown.
Not a
or my brother Ed
mixologist or
Howard.
something
Right,
like
I'm
that.
not a
Okay.
mixologist.
Okay, all right.
But ice does a couple of things. One, it adds it adds sort of frothy, right? So and it's shaking off. So some of that ice is melting in. So that's going to help with, like, a martini is what they call like an illusion drink.
Oh.
So a martini is big, right, when we get it in the glass, but that's not all alcohol. It's a lot of alcohol, but it's not all alcohol. So some of that is the actual ice.
Okay.
So it helps extend the drink and sort of volumize it, or just adds more liquid to it.
Oh, okay.
But it keeps it really cold. So
Okay.
a little grapefruit soda or grapefruit sparkling water. You can use regular sparkling water if you like, a little club soda. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to let you get yours. Grab one of those peels.
Okay.
This is the peel from the grapefruit.
Okay.
And then I'll give you this one.
All right.
And then what you want to do is just squeeze it.
Okay.
And just some of those essences. There you go.
Will it get in there?
Yeah, it's just a little bit. You can't even see it. That's
okay,
it.
yeah, okay.
You know, I was at a bar the other day at I forget the bar, and the guy, because of the oils, he pulled out a torch and lit them on fire, and it's sort of like it's this little. It was very cool. It justified the $16 cocktail.
I was going to say.
So you put that in.
He
there.
was a mixologist, maybe. Okay.
He better have been. And then we're gonna take a little bit. I didn't bring any straws, so I couldn't cheers.
Yeah.
So it might be. Hopefully, it's not too
I'm
tart.
gonna cake this corner right here with all this salt, the salt on it. That is good.
That's good.
That's balanced.
Yeah, nice and clean. And we could always add more grapefruit to that, but it's not too boozy. Though. All right, so.
No, and it's a little after 12, so please not too.
Exactly, right. All right, so guacamole. Very simple. Couple of keys. Good avocados. Haas avocados is gonna be the best, right?
Okay.
Haas. It's just gonna be creamier, and they're gonna give you the better flavor. Okay, so sorry as I shuffle
tell me
around
what
a
you
little
want
bit.
me to do.
Nothing. All right, you good to go?
Okay. All right.
So would you mind wiping that bowl out for me?
Sure.
Please. All right, and so good avocado. That's the key. Not too hard. If you can feel that.
Oh no, it's not too hard.
So it's not. We can't do anything with hard avocados.
Okay.
What a lot of.
So how do you know when they're too soft though? Is there such thing?
Yes.
Okay.
They can be too soft as well. Overripe is not good for guacamole. You can still use it for something else.
Okay.
But guacamole, we don't want it to get like black, right? Or I guess bitter. So when we open this, if there's a little black piece, we want to take that out. Maybe eat it if you want to. It's not trash, but it's going to turn our black guacamole black faster.
Got it.
And I got a key for that, a trick for that. But not overripe and not definitely underripe. You can't do nothing with it, right? It's a brick.
Right, right.
So we're going to just go right down. There's a nut in the middle of this. So we cut around it. And then we open it up. I don't know. There we go.
That's perfect.
And then, so if there's any black blemishes, this is not bad at all.
Okay.
We want to take those out. But what I'm going to have you do, because you are the gourmand, is scoop that out.
Okay.
I'm going to show you
And
how.
clean scoop it out.
Clean it all out.
Okay, all right,
Avocados
cool.
ain't cheap.
Right. Yeah, they are. Oh, that just came out perfect.
Came right out. Yeah, and if there's any more, you scoop it on
Yeah,
out.
okay.
So we should have timed this, but
Yeah,
this
that's
is going to be
cool
really
see how long
simple.
that- Okay, we can. Yep.
And one of the keys, one of the things is you're going to put one of these right on in there because that's what's going to keep it from turning black as well.
Oh,
If
so
you
you keep
ever-
the nut in there.
Absolutely. If you say you wake up one day and you decide you're going to have avocado toast, but it's just you, like you always want to eat this one, right?
Oh,
and
I
then when
see.
you wrap this back in the refrigerator,
Uh-huh.
you leave this in there. The nut actually helps it from turning brown.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Okay.
while this is sitting out, or if you put it in the refrigerator or something like that, you don't have to put all of them in there.
So,
but
that's
keep
it.
one of them. You see that black right there?
Yeah, uh-huh.
That's what we're gonna, a little black part.
Okay.
If you see any more, it's cool because we're we're on the show. But that's the one that we want to keep out.
Okay, got it.
Just because
All right. Okay.
that's going to help turn it. Oh, get off of there. There you go.
Uh-huh.
All right, so
Okay,
a couple more, and I think we'll be good to go.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see. Boom, boom, slicing, and then it was beautiful because we had all of the. Don't you hate when you go to the grocery store, you're looking for avocados, and it's none in there that they're all hard.
Yeah, they're all hard.
Yeah.
And again, I buy mine already prepared, so.
You buy your guac prepared?
Mm-hmm.
Not after today.
Yeah, now I know because I'm like, oh, those too complicated to do.
Oh, no,
and
this
I'm
is
like,
the-
I'm not doing that.
This is easy, and it tastes so much. It tastes so
Put these in there too,
so
right?
much better. Yes.
Only one seed goes in
One
there
will be cool.
always?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can
all
put
right.
more. The more you have,
Uh-huh.
the more you can put in there.
Okay.
But we're just gonna go with one
Okay. All right.
or two because I just dropped that one.
All right.
Now, do you cook often?
No, and I did. And I love to cook. But, it's like as I fast forward when I got a kid,
Uh-huh.
I cook for him and then I don't cook for my, you know what I'm saying? I make sure he eats.
How old is he?
7.
7. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is he a picky eater?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like, he's not going to try any guacamole.
No.
No.
Too green.
I just got him to try sushi, and that's because he made it.
Yeah.
And so when he made it, he was like fascinated by how it was made.
Uh-huh.
Then he wanted to say, okay, you know what, now I'm willing to do this. I'm curious enough now to actually do this.
Right.
So.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Now, do you like spice or no?
A little kick in my guacamole. I'm
right.
not a spice, but I like a little kick.
Okay, perfect. So here's what I'm gonna do for your viewers. Show you. We got some jalapeno. You can put that jalapeno in there,
Okay.
please.
Is that a lot of jalapeno?
No, it's not. But that's not
Okay.
gonna be spicy. You're
Okay,
not
all right.
you're not gonna be mad at that, and I'll tell you why.
All right.
Because what gives the any pepper its biggest kick?
Mm-hmm.
The seeds and that little
I see.
the white pith.
Oh,
in there.
that's where the
That's where the heat. That's
power
where
and the heat.
That's where
Okay.
the punch is.
Okay. All
now,
right.
mind you, I had a really good friend of mine who was from Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
who used to serve. His name's Hector. He used to serve in the restaurant I worked in,
Mm-hmm.
and his son came in, little Hector Jr. I think his name was Junior. He came in the kitchen one day. He was 5 years old, and he ate a jalapeno like it was an apple, and they gave it to him. And some of the guys are, they're laughing and stuff.
Yeah, right.
But this, he said, you all don't know heat like we know heat. He's like, back up off my son. My son's a real soldier. So to a lot of people that love heat, this is jalapenos, especially these jalapenos are nothing. But, however, if you like the flavor of it
Yeah.
and don't want the heat, you just
Smells good.
yeah, you just take that on out,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then we dice it up like we did there.
Okay.
This is odd for me, sitting down, but I'm gonna make it work. You just dice it up. And if you don't want any pepper, or if you want a different pepper, like a smokier, you can always take that out. Like a poblano might work, or the red Fresnos. But any pepper, I think it's essential to have a little pepper in your
In your guacamole.
in your guac. Yeah.
Is that normally the case that people do the pepper in the guacamole? Or is that like a staple? that
Yeah,
you
I think
always
it's a
add?
staple.
Okay.
I do. I've seen some recipes
Okay.
without it, but I think it's a staple.
Okay.
And then depending upon where you go, like we think, guacamole is sort of like if you're from South America, you eat guacamole. Guacamole is like a Mexican thing.
Yeah.
So Mexican ain't everywhere.
Right,
Some
right,
people think
right.
it is. So some people, as I've seen some of my cooks over the years that have been from like Guatemala or El Salvador, they don't necessarily grow up with guacamole. It's not their thing.
Okay.
But they interpret they've made the dish completely different. Some people put tomatoes in it, raw onion. I even saw one guy put cumin in it, and I love cumin. And I went and put cumin in front of I think I did it in front of Sierra, who's she's a friend from Mexico, and they were always looking at me like, what the hell you doing putting cumin in there? And I was like, Juan, he's like, Juan is from El Salvador. We don't do that in Mexico, okay? And I'm serious. It was real. So it just depends on what you like. I like
Okay.
to put in whatever I like, but I try not to put in too much like anything with like a liquid or sort of like tomato. To me, I don't really dig tomato and guacamole because it's sort of gonna that acid sort of stretches it out.
Okay.
We're all gonna put some lime juice in there.
Okay.
You wanna help me with that?
Yep.
Squeeze some of those limes in there.
Okay. All right.
For every about 3 avocados, you put about 1 lime should be good.
These limes are hard as
Yeah, I know.
what.
I tried to roll them. Didn't really work. Are you a cilantro fan?
Oh yeah. Oh, no,
yeah.
definitely.
Yes.
Cilantro. I think it just adds flavor to almost anything.
Cilantro is a beautiful, beautiful plant.
Yeah, almost to anything.
So I put a bunch in there. It's a real simple recipe. I'm talking it through, obviously, but.
So what's your favorite kitchen tool, though? You have one?
Oh, yeah.
What is it?
Wooden spoon and a cast iron skillet. I'm a country.
Classic.
I'm a country dude. Absolutely. Classic. You can do so much with a wooden spoon.
Okay.
You can beat eggs if you want. You can stir the cake. And it's, it lasts forever and probably costs maybe 30 cents.
All right. Okay.
So a wooden spoon I love.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to need to help me with these lines.
I know. I got you. I see you. You're getting the workout on that. Yeah. So, how many did you put in there?
2. This is the second one, right, that I have. And you said 4?
Yeah, about 4 is
About
good.
4?
Mhm.
Okay.
It's no matter what, it's gonna taste good to them out there. So we're all right.
It's looking good. You able to catch this? And we need to put it up so you can see.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
nice and green.
Mm-hmm.
And avocados have that good old healthy fat in them.
So what's your go-to cocktail when you had a stressful day or whatever the case may be?
Oh, I'll give you the recipe. It's one glass, and 4 ounces of bourbon, and that's the recipe. That's it. That's good on the line.
Okay, all right. That's a quick recipe.
Right. I like. I love. I like bourbon, and I'll take a bourbon and a beer any day.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
That's pretty good for me. It used to be vodka with a little bit of lime or something like that, but it's just been bourbon lately.
Okay.
My days get rough sometimes. So salt. I'm using the Himalayan pink salt. It has more of the trace minerals.
All right. Put this so we can see. Can you see?
So salt. One thing you don't want to be easy on in this recipe is the salt. Sometimes people go too light on it, and then it just doesn't taste right, essentially. So be liberal with the salt.
So, and the salt adds just mixing it with all the ingredients adds more of a kick. Salt is a good thing, though. Even though it's not heavy you can be with it, may not be the best, but it adds flavor.
Salt is
it's like pepper.
Extremely important.
Mm-hmm.
Salt is extremely important. It brings everything together. It makes everybody act right. It's like the DJ, it's the act right, right? So we're just going to mix that in. And we have made, and here's another key that people don't do, is people don't taste their food as they go. And I got some fresh spoons over here.
Okay.
That's one of the key mistakes. People will give a recipe out, and people say, well, it doesn't taste the same, chef. Well, you got to taste it. Your avocados might have been different than mine. They might have been a little bigger, or a little smaller, or your jalapenos.
So that makes a difference in the taste, too?
Oh, all of it.
Okay.
That's,
all right. Okay.
People think that, America has done a great job of sort of industrializing everything. So, and that's not a knock. We just have. But we think that, Mother Nature was like a vending machine. It's not all going to be the same.
Right.
Seasons and years and crops and just stuff.
Where it's coming from.
Exactly. So what I want you to do, and tell me your honest opinion, taste it, and then see if it needs a little more salt or acid or anything.
Oh, the salt is good.
Salt is good? Okay, you got a little smile on your face. I like that. All right.
Got a kick to it.
Oh, does it? Oh, you really...
Woo!
I put 1 seed in there, and that's got a kick to it? Let me see.
But if you like spicy food, it's good.
The salt is good. I can't taste any pepper.
Oh, my gosh. We got different palates.
You do.
It hit the back of my throat.
You want to put another avocado in there?
No.
Okay.
But it's good, though.
All right. So, and here's what I got for you.
I was like, Brad and Lyndon, y'all want to taste?
Absolutely. We got it.
It's very good. I got to used to,
Mm-hmm. Maybe you caught that 1 seed I threw in there.
Yeah, because that taste right there wasn't as kicking in my throat.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I did not. Tips to anybody that wants to do food television. Do not burn the host's mouth. That will get you not invited back. I'm sorry.
So do you have a garden?
A garden?
All?
No. Not at all. No.
Not your thing?
Sure, I just don't have time.
Okay, because it requires a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It requires a lot of attention and care and love. I was just talking to my mother the other day about gardening we have a home down in Tappahannock. Okay. And I think it's essential. I think we should grow more of our own food.
Okay.
I'm just not doing it right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So growing up, we talked about it a little on the radio side, but you were cooking too as a kid.
Oh yeah.
What was your favorite meal to cook?
Well, I grew up in the city, so for us it was, the quick meals. My favorite thing, we didn't have a bunch of money, and I just was fascinated by eggs, right? And we found, when I say we have a bunch of money, we were poor.
Okay.
So eggs just fascinated me. They were filling, right? I didn't know that they were healthy, but I just know that we had them all the time. So different omelets, we would slice them up and put in some baking soda to make it think it's more. So it would sort of expand. But I love eggs, oodles of noodles. Those are the really things I started out with really young.
Okay.
And just how to make a different soup. So nothing fancy or anything like that.
Okay.
My mother used to encourage me to make this. I made this seafood casserole, and it was all this imitation seafood and tuna. Like an imitation crab was a big deal when you pour, because you really think it's like real crab. It tastes good.
Very true.
That little long. So she would, and I could only make it on occasion, and I'd make this mix and I had like this Alfredo sort of sauce and a little bit of mayo and a bunch of seafood, and I crumbled some crackers on top and baked it. It's almost like a crab dip, right? When I think about it. But when I think about it, sometimes I'm like, what? That had to be disgusting. But she supported me. So, and everybody loved it, or they said they loved it. So, and lasagna. Lasagna was my other big thing.
Okay.
As I learned.
And how old were you when you started cooking lasagna?
Lasagna, I first cooked when I was in the 8th grade or 7th grade. So I was 12 or 13 years old.
Okay.
I made it at home ec, GW.
Okay.
And I couldn't believe that I made something that looked like that.
Yeah.
And people loved.
All right.
It was the best time of my life.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. So when you talk about food and spirits, pairing them together, are there things that you should consider in pairing these things together? Like, you chose this for a reason, so.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, time of year or just environment really for me.
Okay.
Yesterday at the shelter, I was going to make a soup because I was going to make a soup. I had this product down there and I had this really good soup in mind. And one of the guys who had eaten the soup prior, he was like, look, man, I know y'all like making that soup. He didn't say it to me, but he was talking to one of my guys. He said, it's too hot out here for some soup. It's supposed to be 100 degrees tomorrow. And I didn't even tell him, and I'm like, okay, scratch soup off the menu. And that's real, we got to listen to those guys.
Yeah.
Environment, like it's summertime. I chose this. I like, balancing and creating something that sort of either complements or goes with, even if it's a contrast, it sort of matches the environment. So that matters, but it's food, region matters too, right? So we're not gonna, I wouldn't do, we're not gonna make gnocchi or spaghetti and meatballs with palomas. We could do it.
Right.
Just trying to match up regions or at least balance with flavors. Like this has a little heat. So what that does in a restaurant, I might give you something a little salty and heat it with a little spice on it. Because what do? You want to drink more.
Right.
So that's a little trick that we play. We give you something free or maybe really cheap, nuts or chips or anything salty and spicy, because you're going to say, hey, bartender, let me get another beer. So all of that goes into the mindset when pairing food and beverage.
What's your favorite food now? I mean,
to cook, to eat?
Yeah, both.
Always fried chicken. Right now. And I have a bunch of others, but I think nobody can cook fried chicken like me. Nobody under 68 can cook fried chicken as good as me. No one.
All right. I need to try you. I don't think I've tried your fried chicken.
Well, that's the next time. I know y'all got a new studio, so I ain't want to smoke the joint out. Bring my deep fry. I got 3 deep fries.
Okay.
So that's my thing. And I'm amazed at, Southern fried chicken or, my style, I think is the best. But so many people across this country and across this world, because I research fried chicken. There's so many different ways to interpret it.
Very true.
I'm just amazed at how people do it in other countries, even in the Philippines, just everywhere. Just how people.
So is it a little bit of everything in your fried chicken? What is making it so good?
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
Mine is very simple. It's it's the method, right? It's I was gonna borrow a line from Billions, but I'm not gonna do it. It's chicken, it's bread, and it's oil. But mine is very simple. I brine mine, and then I marinate it, and then I use a breading, of course, that has my special sort of crunch in it. And it's just frying it properly. I approach frying the way someone, a French chef would approach like sautéing or sous vide. Like there's an art to frying. It's just a different cooking method.
Okay. Okay.
So I just treat it with care. It's just a different recipe. That's what's so special about it. It's great. Next time.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean I've had your food before, so it isn't like, but I don't remember the fried chicken though.
Yes, well, that's a problem. That's a problem. Either you hadn't had it, or we got to make sure.
No, I don't think I've had it because when you were at B. Smith's, you did the cognac. You remember you did the Martell cognac?
Oh yeah.
And mixed it in. We used it in the dishes. You even did it in the apple pie.
Absolutely.
And it was amazing because that's what I knew too, that you were really trying to not only keep with traditional, but be innovative about the food that you approached as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank you. I remember that dinner. That was really good. And I think you see a lot of that now. I mean, I don't know if that ever went away, but putting the alcohol.
That was very early on then, though.
Yeah.
That was like 2004, 2005, right there. That was very early on. People weren't doing things like that at that time.
And we started it. We were a part of the movement. And now my man, John P., he's on this Martell. He works for Martell. He's all over the world promoting them. He needs to hire us.
Yeah, he does, because I heard he was doing that.
Right,
yeah, but then it wasn't, and mixing it in that food, not just the pairing of food together, actually taking it and put it in the food and making it another flavor. But again, you didn't think dessert, you were just thinking meals, you know, and then turning around and putting it in that apple pie and glazing it over the top. It was incredible.
I think I had it somewhere in the steak dish too. I can't remember, but yeah, it's so much you can do with it, and alcohol can change and add and lift up. You don't want to lose it, right? We wouldn't put a VSOP or an XO in a gravy,
right?
But there's certain things you can do with it that can really, change the whole complexity of the dish.
So do you think that that's part of what makes Chef Rock is trying to make sure you keep with the tradition while also being an innovative chef?
Absolutely, that's me all the way. I love our ancestors. I mean, when I say our, human beings' ancestors were true geniuses. So I don't necessarily want to change what they did, but I do want to, I guess I'm going to contradict myself. I do want to bring it forward to our, so that is change. But I definitely want to tell that true story as to where it came from.
Yeah.
And then, put a modern spin on it. And that doesn't necessarily have to be in the actual food, right? That can be in the technique and the preparation and the delivery. That could be the change of the innovation. Yeah.
So we got to put chips with this.
Oh,
so
yeah,
we're going to keep talking, but this is really it.
That's it. I mean, that was quick, right?
Yeah, it was. I don't even know if it maybe 10 minutes.
We talked through that. I think it would have been faster if I wasn't talking. So
no, we have to talk. It's an interview at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm just saying if we weren't talking, it would be...
it would have been done.
Yes. So these are quinoa and chia seed chips.
Okay, which
I
like.
A little healthy. I can put that in the bowl too. So a little, again, another way. Now, corn tortilla, nothing wrong with corn tortillas. I'm not calling foul on those, but healthy, people always say, well, how can I eat more healthy? How can I get my kids to eat more healthy? Healthy is a lifestyle, and it's not about like, okay, I'm going to be vegan right now in this day. It's about like, what can I do to add a little bit here, a little bit there. So if I know I'm sort of what we call cheating this weekend, then that means I can just have this chip with quinoa and hemp seeds. What we really like, and chia seeds. What we really like is that crunch and salt. We like a crunchy, salty chip. We don't care what it's made out of. We think we like the potato and the corn tortilla.
And I'm a chip person.
Yeah, you do?
I love chips.
It's not,
I mean, I'm going to try, especially if it's different.
Yeah.
I'm going to try.
What do you think? I should have brought the backup.
That's good.
That's good. It's crunchy. You can tell me. It's not my company, so you can tell me if you don't like it.
If it was your company, I couldn't say nothing?
No, just off there. Like, if I own the chip company, I'd be like, please don't say anything.
No, it's very good. The combination of it is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after really about 2 or 3 palomas, it's all going to taste like...
So the name of the margarita again is what?
Paloma.
Paloma. A Paloma margarita.
Oh, no, it's not a margarita.
Okay.
It's its own cocktail. It's very similar to a margarita.
Oh, got it.
So in the margarita, we use like lime juice or sour mix.
Right, okay.
So we use grapefruit.
Okay.
Yeah, and a little bit of the sweetener as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
And so this is what makes up this?
Very similar.
Yeah.
The grapefruit, we got the acid.
Okay.
And then we top it off, like you generally wouldn't top off a margarita, or I wouldn't. With a soda.
With a soda, okay.
Yes, so it's got that effervescence, that little sparkle at the end.
Okay.
With margarita, you're not going to have that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, last question before we wrap up this. Are there traditional foods or staple dishes that you think are always good to pair with spirits?
You know, I think wine and food, spirit and food. Well, spirits, you said spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Traditional, I'm going to start to sound like a broken record. I think, fried chicken and bourbon go well together. That's like that's how I close out a day.
Okay. All right.
Fried piece of chicken and drink some bourbon. But, wine and food or spirits and food I think are made to go together throughout so many different cultures. So if I had to, I love, I'm not a wine connoisseur at all. I like to drink it, but I don't know much
Yeah,
about
I'm not
it.
either. No.
But bar food, the community, the sort of the community food, or when we're having a good time, party food. I love light, drinks like this with a little bit of acid in them.
Okay.
Just stuff that you can drink all day without getting hammered.
Yeah.
And getting wasted.
Yeah.
And it goes along with like chips and salsa, guacamole, things like that. And you can make this into a punch. You could batch this. So
yeah, that's true. The taste is something you could make into a punch.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like a vodka drink to get specific, like anything like depending upon your crowd, but something that's not too heavy in the proof. I'm talking about bourbon, but something that's a batchable drink. So like a vodka or a gin, sort of clean, give a nice little acid, some sweetness, and so people can enjoy it. I think those, along with the party foods, whatever they be, hummus and something or other, chips and salsa, potato chips and dip.
Right.
Those sort of things are really, they're made, I think, to go together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell people the name of the two shows so they can find you and watch them.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah.
I'm on Facebook at Rock Harper and Instagram at Rock Harper. So catch me there. The name of the show is Shift Drink. And Shift Drink is actually, this is an episode of Shift Drink right here.
Okay. All right. Yeah. It's gonna be online.
We didn't right. So you can find them all on my Instagram or Facebook. And, the Chef Rock Experiment is on SoundCloud and iTunes. Please subscribe, share it. If you don't like it, tell me. If you do like it, tell me. But I just care that you listen. If I ruffle your feathers, that's great. Just keep listening. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And come on down to Central Union Mission and volunteer. Take a look around one day. But I'm there. That's what I'm doing.
So it's always great to have you because I know you're a busy man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You are doing great work. Thanks for what you all do.
Thank you.
Here, this is like vital.
Yeah.
You know that, and I'm privileged to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you all are tuned in to Behind the Mind on YouTube Live. Keep continuing to listen to us on the radio, and of course we're on We Act Radio. You all have a great one.